And we're back. All right, so the issue we're running into is an audio driver. You might lose me for a second. Turn on back up here. I think I have some things taking up too many audio drivers when really this just needs to do that. Okay. You actually didn't lose me. Great. That handled that much better. Okay, I'm gonna update their goal. Goal is going to be make grass. That's simple. Goal is make grass. Okay, good deal. Let me pull up Godot here. And while that loads, we can kind of go into Blender. Okay, so one of the things I'm working through right now, I have kind of a basic grass setup here. So I have some grass. This needs to be expanded, so I'm gonna have to duplicate this out. And we'll do that. Not sure how far yet, right? I think it's gonna fill up a 2 meter. It's gonna fill up a 2x2 square. So ultimately, let's make sure I'm not getting my debug error now. I shouldn't be. I think what was going on is I had some corrupt audio drivers, which I could still have. Let's see. When I run this, does it crash here? We're gonna find out. Nope. Good. Much better. Okay. Look at that. We can watch the beautiful sunset or sunrise. Okay. Very good. And now we're going to work on this so we can watch it with grass. Okay. I think the first thing I'm going to do is in Blender, I need to take these and I need to expand them. So I did create kind of some basic grass. I started with a rectangle. I combined the vertices on the ends. I brought the vertices in. I scaled them in the middle. I split it into kind of 3 parts and pulled the outsides. Gave them a bend with I made loop cuts and then bent them. And then duplicated, stretched, shrunk, and rotated. So it's pretty simple. So here, I am going to... I'm just going to do it manually. Like I thought about hey, do I create like a particle system and do that? But that seemed like a lot of work. So I'm just going to do it manually. I'm going to consider, let me see. So they're in 2x2 square now and they'd be huge compared to my people. I'm probably going to expand them out to like 10 by 10. Is that too much? Maybe like 6 by 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 like that to here. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I'm going to start just by doing like this, and I'm going to rotate. I'm going to rotate 90 degrees, and then 2, I guess. I'm going to actually move it over like minus 0.1, just so it's not creating... Maybe, yeah, something like that. I don't want it to create like lines, if you know what I'm saying. So let's duplicate that. Rotate. This time we'll rotate 180 degrees. Is that right? Okay. Rotate across the Z-axis, 180 degrees. And then we're going to move it on the X-axis. We'll move it 2 again. Oh, shoot. I didn't duplicate. Okay. Duplicate. Rotate. Negative 180. And then move it on the X-axis 2. And I'm actually going to make it like 1.9. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to take all of them. I'm going to duplicate. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep doing one at a time because I want some random variation in there. I don't want it to look too much like it's just copy and pasted everywhere. G, this time in the Y direction, I'm going to do 1.8, 1.7, 1.6. There you go. Oh, shoot. Okay, rotate across the Z axis. Are there any other ones? Shoot. Okay. Yeah, I gotta be careful about that. Okay. Let's try this again. I am brand new to Godot, obviously. Okay, duplicate, rotate across the Z axis. We're gonna rotate this one 180 degrees, and then we're gonna move it in the X direction 1.9. All right, that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna take it, we're gonna duplicate it, rotate in the Z direction 90 degrees. And then we're gonna move it in the Y direction 1.8. Shoot. Move it in the Y direction 1.8. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. We will now duplicate this, rotate in the Z direction 90 degrees. And then we will move it in the X direction, negative 1.9. Looks pretty good. Same thing, duplicate, rotate this 180 degrees. Then we will move it in the X direction, negative 1.9. Move it in the X direction, Y direction. X direction? Okay, 1.9. All right. Look at 1.8. 0.9 is good. All right, same thing, duplicate. Starting to get a little repetitive, that's okay. Rotate 90, we're almost done. 90 degrees, and then move it in the Y direction, 0.8, 1.9. Okay. Duplicate it. Okay. Did we do it? Okay. 0.8. Then we're gonna rotate it in the Z direction, 90 degrees. Then we're gonna move it another, in the X direction, another like 0.1. Hey Journey. Hey, it's going pretty well. We're making grass. So pretty new to this, but you know, it's going along pretty well. Let's see, duplicate. I'm just kind of here. I'll show you what this looks like after I finish this one up. 2. That looks pretty good. 1.9, and then we're going to rotate it in the Z direction, flip it around, and then we're going to raise it up in the X direction, like 0.1, and the Y direction, 0.2. Yeah, it's better. And then we'll move it in the X direction, 0.1. Okay, I still have some space to fill up here, which I'll do. But yeah, this is what my grass looks like. We're kind of getting there. I do have some space to fill up here. Let's duplicate that, and let's see if I can fill up some of this space. I'm a little worried that it's going to be really thick there. Maybe this is okay, actually, like this. You know what I can do, actually? I'm going to select all. I'm going to join it, Control J, yeah, scale it, and just scale it to be within kind of like that. Okay. That looks, actually, you know what? I have to scale down to 2x2 anyway. So then I can just scale it down. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah. We'll see. I think I'm gonna be better at like shaders. But we'll see. We'll see. Not too bad so far. Okay, let's see. So yeah, that looks pretty decent. I'm worried it might be a little too thick. Maybe it's not too bad. I'm also gonna go ahead and put a base under it if I can figure out how to do that. Modeling. Let's see. I want to create a cube, I guess. Okay. And then what I want to do to this cube is, oh my goodness, my ability to actually use this tool is so bad. Let's see if I want to join those vertices. The character controller. I gotcha. What are you doing? Are you trying to just to get it where you can control your character? Let's see if I select both of these. I hit join. No. Connect vertices. No, that's not it. Okay. So what I can do, I think, is select all of this, and then I can shrink it like that. Okay, I missed one. Here's the problem. If I was in SolidWorks right now, this would be super easy. Right? I would say, hey, make me a plane. And there's got to be, okay, let's not do that. Let's delete this. Delete these vertices. Okay. There's got to be a way. I'm going to pause for a second. There is for sure a way where I just make a plane. That's what I need to do. Okay. So you followed the basic movement. You're trying to get the... Go to object mode, okay. You know, there we go, main object mode. And so now if I want to, I can create a cube, which I guess is okay, but I want to create a plane. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just create okay, click add mesh. If I can find it. Add mesh plane. We did it. Thank you. All right, my turn to help you now. Let's see if you click Shift A. Very nice. That is helpful. Okay. All right. So yeah. So you are trying right now to. So you follow the two tutorials. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for. Oops. Whoa. I'm accidentally creating all kinds of stuff now. Interesting. So let's see. Follow the tutorials. You were able to set up. Let me pull those up. Actually, we can troubleshoot this. So you follow? Did you follow like the 2D? You know, your first 2D game tutorial. This one. And so I followed this as well. Let's actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a quick break because that was a breakthrough. That was good. Look at this. I've got the file, right? Here's what we can do, okay? There's a delay, so it's gonna be hard. But I can just look at the code real quick so you can kind of see what I've done. One note, I am pretty sure that I've got... Oh, you're trying the 3D. That's okay. I did not, I'll be honest, I didn't get very far in the 3D one because I started it and I was like, you know, we'll see where I'm at in the 3D one. I was like, I could do this. It's the same as the 2D one. They're very similar. And I did just realize that the 2D one, I have a 2-year-old son, and I ended up making all the characters my kids' Disney characters. Let's see. We'll get it working real quick though. All right, select current. That's good. Let's see. So I won't have anything because I don't have a camera, right? So need a camera. Let's make this actually I will make my main scene. Okay. I'm going to add my player in here. Okay. So I'll add my player in there. Let's see. Let's add a script to this player. New player. And so you can see here. Actually, let's not add a script there. Let's detach that script. Let me edit editable children. So it's just a sphere with a mesh. Okay. One thing I want to do is, okay, let's go back. I just grabbed the wrong file here. I want player.tscn. Add it here. Then I'll attach a script to this. Okay, so this is the script. Okay, perfect. Okay, so in this script, I have, it's pretty simple. I've got essentially, hey, if you have it, it's going to process every frame. It's going to look and say, hey, if I have an input that's accept, it's going to jump. If I get a direction, it's going to move that direction. So I have no idea what this looks like right now. You can see we're kind of building it live. So, oh, I have no camera. Okay, first thing is you need a camera. So let me go to this 3D so we can see. Let me just add a camera here. Camera 3D here. We're just going to move it to the top. And then we are going to face it. We'll put it kind of over here. And then I'm going to rotate it down like 45 degrees. I think that. Let's see where it's at. One thing I can do, if I can remember how to do this, is the preview button. Okay. So negative 45 degrees. 180 degrees. Okay. Nope. 0 degrees on there. 180 there. Trying to think through this real quick. Negative 45. There we go. Okay. Let me split this if I can remember how to do that. Okay, so let me go time it back to the middle. Go back to preview. Okay, so now we can at least see it. It's not good. So let me just zoom in a little bit here. All right, we'll kind of look at that like this. And then we'll go back to preview. Okay, at least you can see the person here. And let's see what we got. Okay, so there's nothing here, right? No character. Big thing is that I haven't defined any collisions. So without collisions, the character won't know where to go or won't know what stuff not to get stopped on. So let's editable children. I have a collision shape. Let's see here. Okay, I have a collision shape 3D on this as well. Ground, collision layer is 1. Okay, collision layer is 1. Let me raise him up a little bit just to make sure he's falling. He might have been through the floor, which could have been the problem. Okay. All right, so yes. And you see I can move him. He's backwards, and then spacebar jumps. Well, yeah, spacebar jumps. You can see he's kind of floating off the ground a little bit. Probably has to do with where it thinks the box is. His collision box is probably too big. We can verify that by looking at collision shape here. Yeah, it's this sphere. So we can make that a little smaller. Kind of tighten it up here. Okay, so based on that, I think I have this. So then what we can do is we can look at this script. I've got it backwards for some reason. And does your script look like mine? The other thing to check would be to look at your project settings and your input map and make sure that you've got everything selected right to the right inputs. So you've actually got your up, down, left, and right all defined here. But yeah, I'll let you look at the script for a second. Or you can take a screenshot or whatever. That should get you moving though. The big things are make sure it's on a player node, like a character body 3D node. Because you'll need that. And then make sure that, like, just bring him up. The one of the things I ran into is I always put him on the ground like this, right? And I would start the game. And like, oh, it didn't do it that time. But if I lower him a little more, I think it will. I'd do something like that. And then the problem is he just falls through. So, yeah, try raising him up a little bit. Just let him fall into it. And now he falls, and then you say, okay, yep, he's there. Obviously, he's not like, there's no animation. So you've got to go to the animation part. And that'll just be kind of rotating. And then right now, all my positions are backwards. But actually, the reason my positions are backwards is because my camera is backwards. Really, my camera should be over here. I should rotate this to 0, and that would fix my backwards camera issue. All right, how did that work? Did that help you at all? Okay. All right, yeah, now he's no longer backwards. I can jump. Once adding your animations, you got some errors. I gotcha. Are you using a sprite or are you using like a rigged body? I can go back to my game for some of that. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. I was trying to help you, but animations can be a little tricky. Oops. I would say Mixamo model, perfect. That's exactly what I'm using too. Yeah, animations were definitely tricky. When you have your animations set up, I can kind of go through that just because, you know, I can go take 2 minutes on that. One of the key things I ran into was trying to figure out how. So I would load the Mixamo guy in there, right? Like if I go here, and then one thing to make sure is that you've got. So you load him in. This is what it should look like coming out of Mixamo, or if I go to like a different character, like if I say, hey, I've got this, right? This is what this looks like, right? Let me see if I have one. Just like a person. Let's see. Okay, so like I load them in like this. Okay, so this is my node. Okay, you load up the animation, and I've got a bunch because I've added more to it. Let me find a more. Someone I haven't loaded anything into. Okay, so this is what this looks like, right? So pull them in to your scene. I'll just pull them up. I guess I'll just open them as a new scene. Open scene. Okay, it's going to open like this. That's okay. Let me import them into a scene. Okay, so you should be able to come in here when you import them. If you hit play, let's see. That's the standard. Dang it, I didn't pull any. I didn't pull any animations. That's okay. Actually, I'll do this anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to Manage Animations, and I'm going to create a. Am I going to do it? For some reason, I can't add a new animation here. Oh man, I'm failing all over the place. Let's see what my issues are. Oh, okay, I see. I need to edit this. Can I open? Yeah, this is where you add animations, is in the animation player. If you don't have one, that could be your problem. I'm not sure. So this is uneditable, but I'm not sure. I guess I'll just instantiate that. Okay, that helps. Open anyway. Okay, so now I have this. So go to the animation player, right? Animation. You can create a new animation or manage animations, right? Right now it's nothing. It's just the T-pose from Mixamo. The way I like doing this is I like going to animation, new animation, right? And I could have like running. When you import it from Mixamo, that should be all you have to do. And then you can just hit play and it should run. The other option here is if you go create one and you have like another person that already has the animations on there, right? Like, cause you can see I have this run on here, which you can do. And I couldn't find this anywhere. I just kind of stumbled into this. Go copy tracks, select all, and almost everything from Mixamo has the same skeleton. So it works out pretty well. Come into your other player here. Where did it go? Oh, right here. Okay, come into your other player here. Go to your thing down here and press paste tracks. Okay. And you can see that's all it takes. And then you gotta adjust this to match. So if I go back to, that's 0.5333. Actually, it's funny. I actually had a YouTube short. I don't know if I still have a YouTube short on this. I think I do. I have a YouTube short on exactly this. But yeah, 0.5, 333, right? And then turn it on repeat, autoplay. Or that's autoplay, I guess. I want loop. Where's the loop button? Right there. Then I can play. And there you go. There's the animation. So when you load it into Mixamo, it should look like this. Make sure you go into the animation player and you can click this and select which you want, right? That would be the T-pose. But I added a new skeleton to him basically. And go pull it into here. So that should help. Let me know if you still run into problems. But then from there, what you have to do is, actually a better way to do this is create an animation tree. So once you have that, create an animation tree. And in this animation tree, create, let's see, is it on the animation tree root should be, I guess we can go, okay, so the root right here, we're going to do just the animation root node. That's fine, I think. Animation player there, right? So it's going to load that. And then it pulls up this animation tree here. Trying to remember how to do this. Oh, you can go do an animation state machine, probably is the best way to do this. And then you can add like a blend space 1D. And what this will do from here is you can say, hey, when you start, go right into this blend space, and you can call this like running. Oops. Go back to the root node. You can call this running. And I can, I'm trying to remember how to do all of this live, but essentially you're going to have to select, what character, where your files are coming from. And I think that is in parameters. Well, I guess parameters is here. Where is that? Trying to remember here. I guess I can look at mine real quick, just so I can look at it. So if I look at my animation tree, okay, advanced expression base node is what it is. So if I go back to him, I go to advanced expression base node. Instead of the tree, I would pick like this would be wherever your script lives. So I could pick like root scene and that'd be fine. And then if I added a script, yeah, I'll just show you. That's kind of what I'm walking through. So you've got to select, it's probably better on one that's implemented. But essentially you set this up. Let me look at one that's implemented real quick so you can see how that works. Okay. Go to my main animation tree. So you set your expression base node. This is important as your character. This needs to be where your script is. The way that works is all of the like parameters on these. So this is what that state machine looks like for all my people, right? And you can see I'm using different expressions like jumping. This is like a true false statement. It's saying, hey, if jumping is true, go to jump. And then like another one here is like, hey, if jumping down is true, go to jump. When you set up your animation tree, you set your character where your script is as that, and then inside your script, you can set those signals, right? So like jumping false, jumping down. You could probably also do the signals. I did this kind of early on, but this worked pretty well. And you can see here, like I'm setting the blend positions. You can take a screenshot if you want here. Setting the blend positions dynamically within the physics process of your character. So where you're every frame you're kind of adding on here. You could set the blend position based on velocity. Your code will look almost identical to this, as long as you name your kind of state machine run, right? So set it to run. It'll look like this, right? Where this sets essentially a two-dimensional map where you can within your code define the values, and those values, if you want to see like where they come from, go to parameters here, run. You can see where it maps parameters /run. run/blend position. See that blend position. So you see how that works and how that maps out. So essentially, yeah, you've got from there, you can set that. And what that does, let me find my character over here. Let's see. So I have this character. I guess all of them are selected, which is fine. Oh, I'm too far away. All right. Let me just move my camera here. So you see here, like if I go select new position, see that middle character? How they're kind of running faster or slower? So what you do is you set up different nodes and it'll allow them to kind of run faster or slower. And then you can just define where this is in your code. So then you can add, when you add these nodes, the way this works is you go right click, I think it's right click. No, I've got to be in the scene to edit it. Go back in here. You click this to create a point, and within that point, you would say, hey, this is the animation player. You would say add animation. You can pick which animation to do. So in this case, I used fast run, and then on the inside, like close to it, I used a walk. So like this is this walk animation, and then out here's a fast run animation. And then all you have to do is define in your script where on this map you are. So you can set that equal just to your velocity, like I have here. And that's it. And then you should be able to get them to follow the animations. This is probably a complicated one, but yeah, this is more state machine stuff. You remember we talked about state machines a couple weeks back? That's all it is. So big kind of gotchas here that got me at least. Change mode to auto. So like all of these modes, switch them to auto. And then if you do kind of go out and come back, make sure if you want them to kind of play once, just on the switch side of it, say add end. Those are two gotchas that got me quite a bit, so hopefully that helps. All right, now go back to grass. That was a good break though. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. So let me take my plane here. Let me scale it. I'm gonna. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. So I'm gonna scale it in the X direction, and I'm gonna make it a 2. Oh, make it a 1, I guess. Oh, this is a multiple. That is okay. Let me G0. I'm gonna try to get this to be right on the corner here. Good, I'm glad. All right. Okay. Just gonna put that on the corner. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, which is essentially, it's gotta be like, let me snap toggle. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, right there. Okay. All right, let's control in the Z direction, set to 0 if I can. I don't know if I can set to 0. Interesting. Okay, I can see it up there. Can I see what the value is? Oh yeah, location. So I can just set this to 0, right? Yeah, that's much easier. Okay. Location Y1. This one. Oh, it's so much easier. Okay, perfect. So now I've got a 2x2 set of grass here. I'm going to export that to use in my game. Then what I need to do here is I need to go to the tile set, my tile map. Oops. Man, I closed it. That's all right. Hey, that worked. I defaulted hitting Control-Shift-Tab or Control-Shift-T because I'm so used to closing out. This was a previous grass I was trying to do earlier, but it kind of I kind of had issues, so I'm gonna try it again here. So let me see this. Ultimately, let me go find the grass I was working on, which is full grass. The issue I was running into was that it looked kind of cool, It was way too short and way too complicated. So I'm trying to simplify it here a little bit. Okay. So I have my object now, which is grass. Okay, one thing I have to do is I have to instantiate this. And after I instantiate it, I want to grab the mesh out of it. So let's grab the mesh. Oh, and a plane. Okay. One thing I want to combine all these because I want them to be one plane in order to be a tile. The tile map is giving me a few problems, or the grid map. It's giving me some problems because it only takes one plane. I can't use multi-meshes. It's a little bit of a challenge. So that's easy. Just Control J. And we'll export again. I do really like Godot and Blender play together pretty well. I know there's like a what would you call it? Extension in Godot to be able to actively use Blender like within the window, make some changes and things. But I haven't quite gotten that. So, all right. So I have this now. Now I can copy this, go back to my tiles. I can look at my scene here. Oh, right here. And I'm going to create a new mesh. I'm going to paste this mesh in there. Okay. It's in a kind of a weird spot. I wonder if I need to move center, because I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to center this in Blender, which is just 0, 0. And then one thing I almost forgot to do is apply all transforms. Okay. Let's try this again. Export. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Let me know if you're able to get it working. I think the first couple things you're trying to do are absolutely the hardest. And then it takes a little bit of time. There's definitely a learning curve to kind of learning how all the systems work. And it's easy to forget is the problem. Like trying to remember how I did all this stuff is a challenge. I think we got there, but it was definitely a challenge. Okay, let me clear that. Clear that. Reinstantiate it. I don't think it saves, but I'm not actually sure. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let me go back to my full grass. Paste that. Man, it's still offset, which is okay. I would rather... Did I move it? I did move it back to 0. I wonder why it's offset like that, because it should be... Like the node is there. It should be centered on that node. Unless I have position transforms. That explains it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and... I created a mesh earlier, like a grass material, yesterday. Let me go ahead and add that in. And it looks pretty good. Let me kind of walk through some interesting things going on that we'll work on. Okay, so let me kind of go through what this is going on here. And what we got to fix here. Okay, so I have a shader. This is what this shader looks like. It's just a visual shader. Visual shaders allow you to kind of create stuff visually. I know that sounded silly. Yeah, it ended up it looks a lot better now than it did earlier, except it's really tall. But that's okay. So yeah, so essentially what's going on here, and I'll just start from the bottom here, is I take the UV map. Oh, I might have missed doing that. Yeah, that's something I missed here. Okay. So first thing it does is take the UV map. Yeah, I do already have it swaying, and I'll walk through how I did that as well. But let me real quick go to UV editing. So that's this right here really needs to be flat. So I'll just take this. Can I just move it? Grab. Can I grab this? Kinda. Yeah, UV editing is tough. I'm sure there's just a way let's see. Gotta be a way just, okay, let me grab these two vertices and let me, can I pinch? Oh no, don't pinch it. Just grab it and move it. Ah. Okay. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Scale it? Nope, don't scale it. Move it, there we go. And I'm gonna move it down to, interesting. Okay, I'll move it in the Y direction. -1. -1. Okay, there we go. Whew. We got there. Okay, so I want those to be the bottom because what this shader does, if I go back to the shader, what this shader does is it takes the UV map, right, where it's at in the UV map, and it's going to take 1 and subtract that, which generates essentially if I disconnect these colors, it generates like a gradient, right? So it generates a gradient, and then I want to apply colors to those gradients. So I apply this dark green to this light green color, which is kind of a grassy color. And meanwhile, this is something I am trying to implement. I'm not sure if it doesn't do anything yet. What I want to do is I'm ultimately going to want to use where I have like where it pulls up with what square you have selected, what movement is kind of going on, right? Or attack is selected. I wanted that all to be dynamic through the shader because I'll be able to kind of color the grass and stuff rather than boxes, which may be more interesting. We'll see. I'm not anywhere near there yet. For now, we'll just get the grass looking good. But I have the code. That's what all of this is, except for this. Okay. So then after it does that, it's going to add that. I have it multiplying by either 1 or 0 based on a position. In fact, to keep this simple right now, I'm going to go ahead and delete all that. Just because I really am a little worried. I'm a little worried that, I guess I can leave it. I mean, it's going to get there. We'll see what happens. And then what I'm doing is, this is my fragment shader. And so essentially it does that. This just colors it. Vertex shader is where you actually control the pixels. Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to try to do it. I'm not quite sure exactly how to do it yet. Shader coding, you are coding by pixel. So like coding in the GD script, right? You're coding the world, right? Or the node or whatever you have. In the shader though, you're coloring by pixel. So every pixel, you got to kind of change your mindset to think, okay, if I'm a pixel, what do I have to know in order to do this? Which is a little bit interesting. All right, so let's see. It does kind of the same thing. Looks at the UV map because I want the base of the grass to stay still and not sway, right? So first thing it does here is it's going to take where it's at in the world. I've got an X and a Y here to create a vector and multiply that by time. So essentially what this is doing is across the X and Y coordinates of the map, it's trying to understand that and multiplying it by time, or I guess in this case, adding it to time to create a consistent sway in the wind. Then it's going to multiply it by, I guess, create a texture with a noise parameter. So this noise parameter, if I go back to what this over here, it just creates kind of a general noise like randomness, which is going to be the wind, and I can control what that looks like. And it's going to multiply it. And then that's going to multiply it by a parameter that I set, which allows me to control, hey, how fast or how slow does it sway in the wind. And then I just multiply it by the vertex, which is just the like 3D vector of the image, right? The points, what pixels make up what, and then apply that to the vertex. So what the mesh, how the mesh is shaped, which allows me to, if I go back to here, get swaying in the wind. Right, so things I can edit, I can change like wind speed, right? If I made this all 1, you can see it blows a lot faster in the wind, which looks decent. You can see that plane we just made flapping in the wind as well. And that is because I that's because my UV map was wrong. Okay, all that to say, UV map down here, it should never have to move. Okay, so then I can export this back to grass. Yeah, reload, and then what I'll do is I will go down here, delete that. I will pull up my grass node again, instantiate the grass node, and then let's grab that mesh. So this mesh has a better UV map. Oops, not clear. This mesh's UV map has the plane at the bottom. So now when I paste this in to this node, where's my grass node? I'm gonna paste that in, and then I add my material back, which is this. Now my mesh doesn't move, which is great. All right, I may make it sway a little more than that. I mean, that looks okay. It's a little subtle though. So let me do that. So actually, let me go back to this. And let me make it like a 0.5. Like, I think that looks pretty decent. I don't know if that's too much wind. And then the cool thing is now I export this as a mesh library, and we'll say, like, we'll call it like grass tiles. And because I replaced one of my grass tiles that I used throughout everything, I should be able to go to world. I should be able to just take my grass tiles here, pull it in, and look at that. Now I have grass. I'm not going to be able to navigate on it because I have to go set the navigation meshes, but I should be able to stand on it. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Okay. So it's definitely tall, and you can see my my little thing up there, and the navigation meshes won't work because it's the wrong navigation mesh. Yeah, definitely a little bit tall. Maybe a little too thick for how tall it is. I mean, it's really tall. It's like waist height, which maybe it wouldn't be too bad. It does look better than the texture I had, which isn't too terrible. It might still be a little too thick. I'm not really sure. Let me give it a second. I don't know what the black... Why? Oh, you know what? Actually, I do know what that black line is. Okay, here. This is that. Okay, let me show you this. So you see this black line here? That does look pretty decent until that happened. Yeah, I do like that. I think it would work for most levels. I don't know. I may have to turn off some of the... I may have to mess with some of the shader stuff. You can see like the graphical glitches here. I'm not sure if that's just my graphics card. Let me check. Might be my graphics card. No, it's graphics card is at a comfortable 40% usage. 50 degrees Celsius. It's not bad. So it's not my well, I guess my Mac graphic, it's doing better now. So it could have been. Maybe looking at it, it decided. It's probably with the light. Okay. Oh, you know what? I bet it's shadows. Let's, it's probably calculating shadows for all those. Let's see if we can turn those off. Let me go. Okay, first things first. So you see that black line there? Which this is kind of cool. Let me go to here, and you can kind of see that black line still. This is that shader I was talking about. So let me go to that shader again. We navigate there. All right, I like it. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm sorry. I can just go to the shader down here. Okay, so shader right here. I guess I do need this. Okay, so you see this? I can change this down to like 2021, and the black line follows. This was my first kind of thought on how I would implement the grass changing color when you like need to move, right? Is something like this, which the way this works, again, you're coding by pixel. So the way this works, if I go to my fragment shader, it is taking this inverse view matrix. It turns you from, like if I go to like the model matrix instead, maybe, I need to take this back to like 0. I'll go to model matrix. It's all camera based. So if you were implementing something like, hey, the left side of the screen is a certain color, right side is something else, this is what you would do. The view matrix is that. You can kind of see some different play. I don't know what the logic is on this. I think it's similar. It's looking at the camera and the way the camera's looking. Inverse view matrix is what we're looking for here. So yeah, and I think that's good. I probably will create like my first level as just like as kind of a wild area. So it probably is good for that. But for now, yeah, we'll just do the full value. A couple things I'm going to change really quick is on these guys. I'm going to move them down the Y direction, 1.99, just to move them to the floor. The hard part, I'll show you in a second why this isn't going to work. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking all the selection tiles and just pushing them down to right on top of the next layer, which is good, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because there's gonna be a bunch of grass in the way. Wonder if there's something I could do quickly. Oh, I pushed them the wrong way. I needed to go negative. All right. I'm gonna close out. I think it's getting mad that I have some of these Mixamo models up for some reason. Okay, back into here. Push it down instead of up. Not sure what I was thinking. That's okay. So basically I'm just in each tile map, right? In the tile map, I'm just selecting, kind of putting an offset for where everything is. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I mean, it's under him, right? But you can't see it is the problem. Oh, I also got to turn on navigational meshes. Let's do that real quick so we can actually look at it. All right, so then what I have to do is just on this, turn on navigational mesh of 2. I want to do it for all the floor pieces. Hey, Shreyash, how you doing? We're just kind of working on grass today. All right. I guess really I just need it for that one. I guess I can do this. Okay, so now I should be able to... Won't be able to move on top of the bridge because I didn't set the bridge navigational mesh. But I at least set the roof. Ooh, that's a great idea. Yeah, just kind of have it float up. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's not terrible. But it would be a lot cooler if the grass glowed. But yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I can try. I wouldn't say I'm, an expert at Godot or anything, but I get by. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Happy to happy to answer them. We've done a little bit of that today. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I like the density. It looks random enough. This looks okay through it. Ultimately, yeah, I can't see the highlight squares. A little sim type. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I do think Godot is a good thing for the industry. Not that I know much else, but all right. Yeah, this is just a hobby for me, so I'm pretty new. I do think Godot is good. If you're looking to do this for a job, right? A lot of people I think are moving towards this. Into the Spires doing their new game in Godot. There's a lot of big games working in Godot now, and I think Godot has a pretty good looking future. So it's pretty powerful. It can do a lot of stuff. It looks good. It's pretty easy to work in, which is nice. All right. Well, we made good progress here. I do like, for the most part, how this looks. Obviously, the buildings are kind of clashing with the rustic style. They're mainly there for to have something to jump on as I'm working through bugs. Oh, interesting. Okay. And now it's nighttime. At night, you really can't see the squares. Oh, yeah, I was going to turn off shadows on the grass. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so let me see. That should be pretty doable if it's not already done. Which I think is just, if I go into, would it be in the shader? Let's see. Maybe it would be in, yeah, I can turn off this shadow mesh. Maybe that helps. That probably helps. Okay. Because ultimately, the reason why I want to turn off shadows on this grass is that that's a lot of objects, and it's going to take a long time to render those shadows, and it's probably not that much value added, right? I mean, having shadows on the grass, actually, they kind of look cooler. So now the shadows are off, and you can kind of see how that changed, right? I kind of think that looks a little better. I like the style. They still do have shadows, which kind of look a little bit funny. So maybe I didn't turn shadows off. I'll have to figure that out, because I would think if I turn off the shadow mesh, it would pretty much turn shadows off. But maybe that's the problem. It's not bad though. It looks pretty decent. There's probably a couple glitches I need to work through. I don't think the gradient is much. It all looks like one consistent color, which I'm not sure if that's because of the shadow or like the sun shining on it. That's kind of interesting. Let me mess with that for a second. Okay, so if I look at here, there's clearly a gradient, and that gradient changes as it waves. Okay. Let me see. I think I need to turn off shadows basically, but I'm not sure the best way to do that. I would think if I got rid of the shadow mesh, it would do that. Maybe I just need like a Let's see. Let me look at shadow mesh here. An optional mesh used for rendering shadows, used for depth prepass. Okay. So it contains all the vertex position data to pass shadows. I wonder if I could just kind of do a mesh that's like a box or something, like a plane, and that really wouldn't cast a shadow anywhere. That might be the way to go. I'll keep that in mind. For now, maybe I do just keep this. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the gradient really does kind of have the suggestion of a shadow. So I don't think the shadows are helping too much. In fact, they may be hurting me. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to this. What if I just crush it? Like negative. Like make it real small. I think that's going to do some weird things, but we're going to look at it. Let's see if that got rid of the shadows. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think the way to do it is, I actually thought there was a parameter that could turn shadows off for certain meshes. All right, let's see what happens here. When the sun comes up. Like this looks pretty good. It has a good gradient. Let's see. Like obviously the sun's shining on those, but you can kind of still see the weird kind of shadows things. Kind of get some weird, let's see, what if I do, okay. I'm not sure why, but it won't let me actually modify these live. Oh, it's probably because there's an error. Interesting. Okay. So that should update. I actually don't know if meshes will update live like that. I'm going to look into it. Yeah, maybe what I need to do is just do like a flat plane for the shadow mesh. But I'll look into it. Ultimately, this looks pretty good though. I like the visual here. Pretty happy with the way that looks. Like obviously the grass is doing some weird things, and I'm 99% sure it's due to shadows. So I'll have to think that one through. But I think ultimately that won't be too hard of a problem to solve. All right. So that was kind of the goal, was to get grass kicked off. And I think we're starting to get there. I do want to start. It's going to be a challenge, but I do want to start passing some shaders over to the grass, but might not be able to do so tonight. Let's see where we're at. It's getting a little bit late, and I do want to work on music a little bit, so may go ahead and call that in terms of grass today. Let me pull up my Trello. We can keep working on grass. It's my first time doing any kind of modeling or shader work, I think, on stream. So, you know, that's a big win. Okay, so one thing I was gonna do was, I actually don't have a thing for grass, so we're just gonna make grass base, which looks pretty good. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we will create shader for selection / move / attack. And I like your idea of it being like a particle or something instead of like a shader. And I can that probably makes that a lot easier. So I'm gonna look into that, because yeah, you could just have like particles coming up. You could have a lot of particles just coming up wherever those boxes are and not touch the grass, or you could color the grass. So I'm gonna think that one through, and then y'all think that through too, and let me know what you think. I'm not sure. Oh, I do have create stylized grass. So I'm not sure which is best here, whether it's better to kind of have particles coming up out of the ground where the selection is. I'll show you if you're not following here. Or it's better to actually color the grass the right color. So right now, that selection square underneath, you can't see it obviously. So if the grass got changed blue, or if there were particles that came out of the ground, I think either one would work. So, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Honestly, like this is if you saw this game, like it looks pretty decent. It's not great yet, but we'll work on it. Ultimately, that's screenshotable, right? Like if I came like this, that's not bad. I do like this style a lot. I think the style is really good. That's probably the kind of style I'm going for. So when I make characters, kind of like almost a Breath of the Wild or like, yeah, that kind of style, maybe like a little more cartoony. And I think that'll look great. So, all right. I'm going to take a 2-minute break real quick and grab a water. When I get back, here's my plan. So that looks pretty good. When I get back, I think I'm going to get into Ableton for at least a few minutes. Going to work on, not going to touch my drivers this time. Figured that out. I did also figure out how to make sure you're hearing what I'm hearing. So right now I'm hearing what you're hearing, which is way better than trying to figure that out live. So that's going to help a lot. And then, we'll lay down some tracks and kind of work a chord progression, a little bit more details, and go from there. So I'll be right back, though. I'm going to grab a water. Yeah, absolutely agree. I think particles might be the way to go. I think that was a good deal. Thanks for the suggestion there. All right. You'll lose me for a second. Well, I actually can capture on this other mic. I didn't realize, but that's okay. Here. All right, let me pull this up. Just loading. Tune up as well. right, let's see. Let me make sure these inputs are accurate. Let's see. A little slow. One moment. That's not good. Oh, Audacity or Ableton. Let's see. I'm not sure. I've been having some issues running Ableton at the same time as OBS. The first time I did it, I had no problems. But now, I'm having all sorts of issues. Let me open this back up. Oh man, yeah, that long loading is not a good sign. I'm not like doing too bad. I've got some metrics over here. I'm not doing too bad on memory or CPU. I mean, it's not great, but shouldn't be this bad. I may have to open up Ableton with like some. Let me see if I can give it a few more resources. That could be the problem here. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's really Ableton is really trying to work hard here. But I'm just gonna see if I can give it a little bit of priority. See if that helps here. Uh-oh. It's not a good sign. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll stay here for a second, but okay. Let's see here. So yeah, none of the inputs are working. I'm guessing I had, hey, President Zaddy. I'm trying to resolve. I had a driver crash. Audio drivers. There we go. Okay. So that audio driver's back up. You can't hear me though. Let me fix that. Thanks, appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's just this pin. I may not be able to get that back up. I mean, you can hear me through the webcam. Yeah, but it's just through my webcam, not through my mic. This is the same problem we had on Monday or whatever it was. And ultimately what I ended up having to do was reset OBS. So I may have to just wait. Okay, what I can do here, I think actually, just has some debugging here. Some live debugging, you know? That's the fun part of streaming, right? I think I can turn off all access to that audio. Actually, you know what? Let me close Godot as well, because Godot may be taking some audio inputs as well. Okay, that still doesn't like that. Make sure it's all off there. Now let's try. Oops. Well, I'll take the in. All right, still thinks it's in use by another application. Good deal. I'm glad it sounds good. You wouldn't be able to hear the music, so that's one negative. But other than that, yeah, I could probably stream like this. Okay, OBS is using my microphone, which is fine. Yeah. Yeah, so essentially I've got a lot of different. So there's a music driver called ASIO, which is pretty common in hardware, right? To be able to essentially direct audio signals where I want them to go. What I'm running into is the yeah. What I'm running into is something took this audio output from Ableton as I was switching channels, so now it's unavailable, which is unfortunate. I kind of think it's, well, we just checked. The one I looked at prior was OBS's. So something else is taking that pin, but it's not an ASIO thing. Wondering if I can. Wondering if there's a way. Let me do a quick Google search real quick. See if there's some way I can force ASIO for all to give pin to device. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll go pin unavailable. Not really seeing a lot. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely something claiming the output. Let me just try closing some windows, I think. We'll see what happens. I don't think anything really should be claiming this. If anything, it would be OBS, but the thing with OBS is I can see that it's not claiming that output pin. We'll go ahead and turn it off for now. You know what? Actually, let me clear. Let's do this. Let's clear this input capture. Okay. And then let's keep closing a couple things out here. I may have to reset Ableton real quick. Let's do this. Yeah, give me just 1 second real quick. Yeah, let me clear. Oh, you know what? I may see something. All right. Now let's look at it. What I did was clear a bunch of. Nope. Dang, I cleared a bunch of people using my resources, but that obviously didn't work. May have to figure this out offline. That's so unfortunate. The first stream I did this. So the first stream I did music. I was so nervous that we were gonna have a bunch of problems, and then had no issues, and then now I'm having all the problems. It wouldn't be that hard. What I could do is stop. The only unfortunate thing to fix this. Let me do something. I'm gonna try restarting Ableton. I don't know if it's gonna work because. Oh, hey, I realized you couldn't hear me. 1 second. Okay, you can hear me now. So yeah, so I realized at one point that what I usually have to do is open up Ableton first before I open up OBS. And it must be an OBS resource issue. The problem with that is when I have audio driver problems, it makes it really hard to resolve on stream. But we'll check. You know, I'm going to give this a shot. Worst case scenario, I guess I'll go back to coding for another few minutes, but I hope I can do music. So, all right, let's see. Let's see here. Just doing stuff live. See how it's taking so long, and I think it has to do with OBS taking resources. Okay, I'll look at that. Okay. Really good news here. Thought it had it. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Nothing should be using those ASIO drivers. We'll try this one more time here. I'll keep this open like this so you can hear me. I'm wondering, let me go to settings here, look at all of my audio inputs, and see if I can figure out what's going on. Is there like an advanced audio input here? I'm kind of thinking, I am kind of thinking that it's, yeah, okay. I think I found it. Okay. Okay, let me go back to sharing here. Let's see the moment of truth here. I did find a program using that. It didn't work, but let me check here one more time because it's possible that it still was using it. Let's check. So let me turn all these to default real quick. Okay. Fun stuff. Let's see. Look at that. Okay, that's really good news. That means we got that fixed, and now I can, before I put it back in Ableton, so right now you're only hearing my webcam mic still, but what I'm going to do is go back to here. Hey, and then you'll have to tell me what sounds better, my webcam mic or my this mic. I have a feeling that this mic really isn't sounding that great. You have to give me the feedback. Okay, so let me pull this open. It's going to take a second. Okay, so let's see here. Then what I can do is go ahead and get this. Okay, that's good. Output config here. Turn on 5 and 6. Okay. All right. And now let me turn on. All right. Ready here. Control panel. Okay. About to turn it on. Okay, test. There we go. Check, check, check. And then perfect. All right. Very good. Okay. Good stuff. We got it fixed on the fly. Live troubleshooting. Glad to hear it. Okay, so what I want to do today is really kind of same thing we did last time. I want to expand it a little bit. Last time we were kind of working on. Oh, one second. I also have a white noise machine right here. I'm going to turn down. Okay. I want to expand on that a little bit. I think last time we were working on like a 4, 5, 3, 6. Which sounds pretty good. I kind of want to go from there, I think, to like a 4, 5, 6. So I want to change that chord progression up a little bit. Want to lay it down on keys, I think, first. So last time I think we did something. I'm going to try to do that a little bit cleaner. Okay, I'm going to grab out my keys here. Yeah, I could have reverb. Actually, I know I do have reverb on. And good. I'm glad it's loud and clear. Yeah, if I go to my mic audio here and look at the vocal chain, let's see. I have a bright room reverb. So this is with it and this is without it. It's very subtle, but I think you can kind of tell just the difference between that and that. But there is a change. That's that little bit of reverb. Just wettens up the voice a little bit, which I like. Maybe that's stylistic, but okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I am terrible at piano. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play. So I'm playing this in the key of E. They're like a transpose. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. I want like a transpose, or what would I call it? Pitch shift. Yeah. So let me add this pitch shift here. We'll just do it before the arpeggiator. So the first thing. Oh, a little delay there. Okay, so in the key of C, I'm going to be playing because it's easier. It's all the white keys. Cheating a little bit here, I know. Want to play in the key of E. So now what I can do, if I do this. So yeah, now I can go like a 4 here. 5. That's really quiet. Let me turn that up a little bit. Let's see. Actually, tell me. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I'm going to turn up. I'm going to mess with my monitor real quick. All right. Lower the screen back. Okay. Let me get some reverb on there too. Some delay. I think I'm going to try just like a simple, I might do a bass first actually. It's a little too much delay. I'm going to try to lay down just a simple chord progression loop. Kind of like what we had last time, but try to do a little bit more consistent. Something like that. Okay, so let me start here, and we'll go from there. So let me not do record on those and just, here we go. I'm not sure I really like that. Might hold it out longer. So I can also mess with some stuff here. I don't like up and down. There we go. So what I'm doing here is an arpeggiator. I'm letting it I don't like random. don't like that. Don't know what that is. Okay, I see. I can see. So I think I can go like up and down. We add the 7th here. Oh, I see. Okay, let me do something like this. Let's see if I can hit this in a take, and then I can modify the MIDI. Oops, that was so bad. Let's try it again. Again, piano is not my forte here. Oh, that's so bad, that last one. Okay, let me try it again. Hit the wrong chords here. Okay. There we go. Okay, all I was trying to do is get in the chords. Then what I'm going to do is come in here and modify these MIDI maps. I'm going to take them out to there. I'm going to normalize them here. Let me see if there's a way. I think there probably is. If I hold one of these keys, should be able to get them all the same length. Maybe not. That's okay. Okay, so then pull this one, get an all start at the front here. Same thing here. So basically, I'm just trying to capture the notes so I don't have to draw them all again. Okay. And then we're going to loop that for just that. So now if I play this. Okay. I'm missing some of these. Let me pull everything. I'm not sure why the snap to grid's off. That's kind of strange, but we'll turn it back on. Oops. I mean, thank you, but no thank you. Delete all that. All right. Stretch these a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to snap to grid originally. That's all right. We got it back on now. Okay. Oh man, I'm having some issues here. Okay. Kind of a slow, tedious process. That's all right. So close, I know. I'm sure there's a hotkey to do this. I don't do a whole lot of MIDI. Mostly I just do guitar here. That sounds pretty good. One thing is all the velocity maps are off. So what I can do is, yeah, all these velocity maps, just pull them up. I'm just gonna make them, this is like if you were hammering on the keys. And I think that's okay. Ultimately later, yeah, I can change the dynamics here. The MIDI control I have is really having some problems in terms of dynamics. So all those kind of changes in dynamics you're hearing is because the velocity maps are kind of all over the place, but we'll fix those. All right. There we go. All straight now. Okay, that last one is obviously off beat here. What's going on? It's missing the beginning on one of these. Which is interesting. That's very interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure why it's skipping this one note. But what I can do, just delete it. Still missed it. Interesting. Maybe it's got to extend over a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so now I can mess with this a little bit. So right now this is like 112, right? So it's going to kind of be a little bit off here. If I was going to do like some guitar behind it, you know, we could do something like. Turn this up. We turn down this delay here. Let's see, it's still not great. It's also kind of hitting two notes there, which is interesting. See, it's kind of missing the thing here. I'm not really sure why. Might delete some of these and see if it. I think it's because they're not quite lined up, possibly. So weird. The rest of them aren't lined up either, but they don't experience this problem. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm obviously having problems with this note. Possibly, it's a good point. I can zoom in, and then I can change the scale here. Let's fold it. So that does help. I don't see any breaks, but yeah, there could be some. There we go. Let's see if that helps here. No, it's kind of, I'm not sure why either. I've done a lot of this and who knows? That's better. I'm not sure what the problem was, but that's all right. So yeah, I think we do something like that. We'll definitely need some synth and some bass in there. We could do something like. And then what I want to do is add 4 more measures, I guess. And I want to take these. I might add another note because that actually got to sounding kind of cool a second ago. Kind of liked that. I might add a octave. All right, what if I keep going up here? Let's see, so this is on the F. Oh man, that was bad. Okay. Let's fix that real quick. Okay, basically I want this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and add another octave here. I think it's going to help. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I think we got it. All right, let's see. Okay. Let's see, yeah. I'm gonna add this in here. I'm gonna pull it down. Oh, let me add back my transpose. Okay. Yeah, let me find a good sound for that. That's definitely not it. Definitely not that. Maybe some strings. Let's try some strings here. Maybe the rhythm's coming from the guitar. That's closer. Oh, that's a big one. That file must be a lot. This feedback bow, I may crash here. This is taking some CPU to process. Okay, not sure how I feel about that. Man, some of these strings, they add so many notes. Maxing out my CPU here. OBS takes about 10% of my CPU too to run normally, so. Oh yeah, good point. Good call. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm thinking keep it kind of light. I don't think the electric guitar is working too well here, which is fine. What do I have in drums? Is that just a click? That's just a click. I'm gonna leave that off here. Okay. I think here I'm gonna try to add some bass to this. I do like that though. Do like some sort of electric bass. I might go synth. Let me go like a synth bass. Okay. So let me see. I'm gonna do the same thing here just to keep this consistent and go ahead and add a pitch shift. Okay. Now what I can do is just maybe shift octave down here. Let's see here. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see. So let me pull. That looks good. This actually was quite a bit better, but I can go ahead and actually, you know what? I can just quantize these. Look at that. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not really used to working with MIDI that much. So quantize just takes all of the points and moves them to whatever your quantize settings are. So like if I set to the eighth, it's going to move them all to the nearest eighth beat. And that would have been the correct way to fix all of our problems earlier. It's late, not thinking clearly. That sounds pretty good though. Do need to check the velocity here. Ultimately, that's not bad. All right. I kind of want to. I want to add some guitar to it, just because, you know. So I just need a melody line, I guess. Maybe I can add a little bit of drive here. Bit slow. I don't think faster's better. No, faster's for sure not better. Now 100's kind of the sweet spot. I just need a melody that works with this, something like a dun, 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 dun. I really think that electric guitar, big electric guitar sound's just not working at all. Which I could replace that and kind of do like a. Let me try something here. Let me get like a simple lead synth lead. Let me find a sound here. That could be good. That's like a wind sound. Let's see. So if I did something like a, let me grab my. Did something like a. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I think something like that could be cool. That could work pretty well. So I do, okay, so let me start kind of organizing this a little bit. I do like that. Let's clear all of this. Make that the scene. I'm going to take this grand piano here. Kind of just repeat it through. I think it's going to just be repeated through for a while. So it's going to start off. Actually, may want to start off with just the synth part of that. So we start off with something like this. Let's see. All right, this needs to be lower. I'm gonna just kind of loop through this. More reverb. Okay, so it start off kind of. I don't like the transition of chords. If I can work with that. Maybe it is better, because that kind of comes in big, right? Maybe it is better just to start with piano. Oh, sorry. That could be a cool break, though. Let's see. So something like this. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Then we do something like. Up an octave. Probably make this a little more open sounding here. Yeah, definitely the higher octave. I think that's a good call here. Oops. I disabled my send. Let's add some reverb. Let's see. Cool, I like that. I think this would come in after one measure of that, so it'd come up in like here. Here we go. I like that. So we could use that. There was a note in here that I didn't like. Right there, probably. Let's do this. Let's set my quantized settings to like 16th notes. And apply it. Just gonna make everything just a little tighter. Let's see. So this, I'm gonna take this note, lower it one. Better. So now I'm just kind of tweaking a little bit. All right. Let's see, what do I want this? There we go. Okay, that's better. So that whole thing sounds like this. I kind of want that to go higher right there. So it goes. I think I want to take this up to here instead. Yeah. I don't think there's much place for a distorted guitar there. We could maybe do some of this though. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it without the guitar at all, actually. I also think this string is a little bit too kind of in your face. Maybe something a little bit lighter. That is not lighter. I like the other one better, actually. That's not bad. Yeah. It's just okay. I think the original is a little more impactful. I may have to turn down the velocity. The thing I don't like is like, it's got that. And maybe what I can do here to fix that. Let's see, I guess I can keep playing it while I do this. Potentially something I can do here is just end my notes a little earlier. Let's see. We turn that off. Let's see if that makes a difference. That's worse. Let's see. Oops. And maybe what I can do is grab all these velocities. Okay, so what this is going to do is going to kind of simulate someone actually playing this. It's going to give a little different weights. Maybe that's not too bad. But yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is that it like swoops into it. Which maybe I get rid of some of that by just turning it down. I'm gonna record some of this real quick. I gotta think through how we want to have differentiation. I like the premise, right, of this. I think the hard part now is going to be like, hey, how do I add dynamics? How do I take it down? Like, obviously, I can cut the bass and the synth, and it comes down, and that's nice, right? Like, this is nice. But I'm gonna have to think that through. But I think ultimately, I like the progression. I like the instrumentation. I think we're getting pretty close to kind of what I'm looking for here. Don't know if I should add something on guitar just for... Probably not. But that's okay. Let me think. Let's think through that real quick. So if we did have something back here... I mean, while it's big, we could probably do something. The synth lead's just so hard to beat. If it was just a song, it's cool, but for a game, kind of fantasy vibes, it's just hard to beat that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I'll think about it though. I think I'm about to call it a night. Kind of finish up here a little bit, but hey, this was fun. Had a good time. We got our drivers fixed. We got kind of a base of a song coming along. I'm gonna have to listen to a bunch of OSTs and just kind of think about, you know, how can I play this? I could definitely, this is definitely title song material. I think we're close. Just not sure where to take it from here. I can jam a little bit over this, I guess, for a second. Yeah, I think you're right. But I think it would be minor guitar. Like maybe if I just did like, okay, like you're in a big part, right? Thanks, appreciate it. Like maybe, like if I do something like this. Let's see, so we have, I'm gonna do some recording as well, just so we can, okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Oh, I turned down the thing here. Let me undo that. Let's see. So if we did... And maybe like an answer? Oops. Not playing with Phil at the same time, all these, but something like that could work. Yeah, I could do some call and response or something. Anyway, I think that's good. We got some stuff down. We got some ideas down. Ultimately, it's kind of coming along. I do actually really like how it's coming. I'm going to call it a night, though. It's like way late. So thanks for hanging out, Journey, and everyone else. And yeah, we'll talk soon. And hey, we have some new outro music if we want it. We could just play from here. So, all right. Thanks everybody, and we'll talk soon here. Glad you had fun. Good night. Talk to you soon.